Well, this is not a video I was planning on doing, but hey ho, here we go. So, yeah, this is I think is it the third? Yeah, the third of the Ben 10 Reboot Season 5 specials, which, in terms of the Ben 10 reboot, I've only really seen a handful of episodes. Generally I watch the finales, generally, because when they do multi-part stories, it feels the most like it did in its previous incarnations. But for the most part, it's fine in terms of just like what I deem as the Bang Bang reboot. It's fine, but it's nothing really special. And I think one of its biggest problems actually kind of shows up in this episode is the art style really does not fit Ben 10. The very simplistic art style acts literally every single Cartoon Network show seems to have. In fact, most shows seem to have this. I think it's called the Bean Head art style or something like that. But anyway, I could go on forever and a day about this. So let's talk about this special. This one was also the one that's the most hyped. And why is that? Because it features the return of all of the classic incarnations of Ben. So the original 10-year-old version, the Alien Force 15-year-old version, the 16-year-old Ultimate Alien version, and the Omniverse version. Although they are, said to be from different dimensions, so it's not exactly that version, but their timelines are pretty much exactly the same as those versions. So yeah, I mean, the problem is though this special is just kind of banking on a lot of nostalgia for people, and in terms of new fans, I couldn't really tell you, but yeah, this one was trying to bring back a bit of nostalgia and just try and bring people back who are kind of not given the reboot a chance or anything. So I guess it kind of did that. It's a bit weird. So yeah, and for being a crossover, the crossover doesn't take place until halfway through this 45-minute special. Actually, technically just over. I think it's at the 22-minute mark, just after, before actually anything happens in terms of crossover. So if you are hoping to see, a fair bit of 15 or 16-year-old Ben, you're going to be disappointed, as basically his guest appearance is honestly pretty small, and he doesn't have that much dialogue, to be honest, which, again, is a bit of a shame. And also, the story for this one, the problem with this story is that it's going at it at a bit of a mystery. So let me just get into the plot of this. So an alien X is going to different dimensions and stealing Omnitrixes. Okay. Yeah. Now, initially, you kind of think, oh, is this going to turn out to be Eon? But it's not. So basically, you can kind of guess who the mystery is. And spoilers, it's an older Ben. It's a future Ben that's from an alternate dimension that's done this. And the thing is, they play this up as a big mystery. Just like, ooh, you seem familiar. Just like, yeah, it's pretty obvious who it is. It is pretty obvious who it is. And I understand the 10-year-old version of Ben being surprised, but the 15 and 16-year-old should not be surprised at all. Like, really, how come they are surprised by this? But whatever. I know this shows, focus on a lot of humour, though there is quite a bit of action in this. There is quite a bit of action, so fair dues for that regard. It also gets revealed that the version of Max, well, it's hinted that this version of Max in the reboot is actually a plumber or was a plumber, and I just like, really, this version, like in the previous. in the previous shows, yeah, it was obvious that Max was a plumber, even when he was hiding it. He seemed to know all about alien tech. But this version, the reboot version, really? Really? Okay. I wonder if they'll do anything with that later. Probably, maybe. I mean, they're leaving it a bit late in the game. I mean, this is part of season 5, apparently. So, yeah, you're leaving it a little bit late in the game. But, okay. Something I did like about this, and you actually see it in the screenshot here, that for the returning aliens, which there aren't a lot of, there's only, if I just count, 4, 5 really. So we got Blocks for Omniverse Ben, which out of all the aliens out of Omniverse, I wouldn't have chose Blocks, but I guess he is the most recognisable from that, because they did market him the most when they were doing Omniverse. For Ultimate Alien Ben, they chose Amphibian. Okay. They didn't. Also, they don't acknowledge that this is an Ultimatrix. They just call it another Omnitrix. Yeah. I think Man of Action wants you to kind of forget about the Ultimatrix, really. Also, for some reason, I really don't know how they managed to do this, but the Ultimatrix is the wrong way around. It's backwards. Yeah, I don't know how they managed to do this, but the Ultimatrix is backwards on Ben's wrist. How the hell did they manage to do that? I have no idea. But I will say this. They do actually try, and Chroma Stone, and who else? Chroma Stone and Big Chill, and also the Gwangtang version of Ripjaws also appear in this. And also the original version of Heat Blast with 10-year-old Ben. And to give them credit, they do actually try to make them look like their original designs, including the Alien X we got in this. It looks more like the Alien Force version, rather than the big chinned version from Omniverse. So, credit where credit's due, they do actually, make them look a bit like that. So, which honestly looks better when the alternate dimension Ben's on human form as just Ben, they do look really weird and off place in this art style. They just clearly do not fit in with this art style, because they're trying to make them look, as close to the original versions as they can, but then it kind of clashes with this art style. So I think that's one of the biggest problems. It really does not fit together with it, and they kind of really clash with it as well. So, but which is such a shame. Also, there's not a lot of story to this. Like that whole plot synopsis I gave at the beginning, that is literally it. This Alien X is going from dimension to dimension, just grabbing Omnitrixes. Literally, that is it. And then other Bens come to help. That's it. That is the story. There is a lot of fighting in it, but that is literally it. There's not much else that happens, which kind of just feels a bit empty and dry. To be honest, like, you would have thought there was something more. Plus, this Ben, his plan makes no sense. He gives an excuse of, oh, he's taking these other Omnitrixes, for revenge for losing his Gwen and Grandpa. But again, why? It doesn't really make sense. If it was he's getting all these Omnitrixes and that, and absorbing them into himself to, I don't know, get some power or something along those lines. I mean, something as basic as that, then okay. Like, why doesn't he just destroy these Omnitrixes, and that can literally be pulled out of him? Why doesn't he just destroy them? And also, as an Alien X, he should be able to easily take all of them down. Like, the whole point of Alien X is it's really difficult to control because essentially, you have to agree on everything. So, yeah, just like, how? They do make a good point, though, in saying that Alien X is the most powerful alien Ben has ever fought. Even more so than Vilgax, which, yeah, good on them for acknowledging that, but yeah, this special just really just feels like it just needed, this feels like a pitch. This literally does feel like an elevator pitch. Just like, hey, let's bring back classic versions of Ben and they fight an Alien X version of him. Great. What's the rest of the plot? No, that's it. That's literally it. Nothing else, just that. And it's 45 minutes of this. 45 minutes of this. It's not bad, but God, it takes forever to get going. The first 20 minutes of this just feel like it's just taking its sweet ass time to actually get going. Because, honestly, it's weird. You would have thought in this show, which is in the other episodes are generally a lot faster paced because of the shorter run times. You would have thought with this that they would have got going straight away and got straight into the crossover element of it. But they take forever to get into it. And it means that there's not that good of reaction. And then there's the whole family lesson, which, how many times, like, seriously, how many times has Ben had to learn the lesson of, hey, he can't do it alone, he has to do it with family and stuff like that, work together? Because, seriously, how many times has Ben learned this lesson? How many times? Because it's honestly getting really boring. I can't really comment on how many times the reboot has done it, but I'm pretty sure it has several times. And also, the plan that they come up with to stop Alien X. What is the plan? Rather than hitting him one at a time, let's all hit him together. Fucking hell, no shit. Wow, that is deep, that. Rather than going at him one at one, we just all go at him together and, like, defeat him in, less than 5 minutes. Okay. Again, this Ben is an Alien X. He should be able to easily take all of them out like this, but no. Okay. Fine. Seriously, and why did none of the other Bens think, could it be worth risking turning into Alien X? To fight an Alien X? Maybe. I mean, it happened before in Omniverse, which Ben seemed to have perfect control of Alien X almost in that show. So why doesn't this version just do that? I don't know. I know I'm complaining a lot about this. It's alright. It's perfectly serviceable, but I can say that about any of the reboot episodes. There's just nothing about it that just makes me go, yes, this is definitely worth watching. It's definitely really engaging. This is just something where, it kind of baits on the nostalgia for 5 minutes, then goes on to a very bare bones plot. And that's kind of really it. I mean, they brought, in a previous special, they brought back Generator Rex, which I still haven't watched that one, and as well as a future Ben. So, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I don't know. I mean, if this special does open up Cartoon Network or Man of Action, to bringing back the 15 or 16-year-old versions of Ben or the original series in some capacity, whether it's, doing a TV movie or maybe even doing what Warner Brothers do and just do now and again a direct-to-video film, then if that opens up these possibilities, then fine, I'm all for it. I'm all for it if that's what it is. But in terms of let's bring them, bring back the original special. Yeah, no. I'm also a little bit annoyed that they didn't bring back Max's original voice. Either that would have been nice to have, but no, unfortunately. In fact, we don't even get. It would have been also nice if they brought back some of the original voice of Heat Blast to do the voice. But oh well. To give them credit, though, to X, I can't remember if Blocks actually talks in this, but Amphibian Chromastone and also Big Chill, they all have their original voices. So yeah, credit where credit is due. It does do that. And it also remembers to give the alternate bends the green Omnitrix chest bags. So, again, it remembers to do that, but it forgets to do other things. Just like, I don't know how they managed to get little details like that and still get the fucking Ultimatrix the wrong way round and not even call it the Ultimatrix. It's just little things like that where it feels like it's more like a first draft of what it could have been. And I think this could have used a few more rewrites, to be honest. It just kind of feels a bit empty, and it's not that kind of big, kind of epic showdown that it really could have been. But it's fine, unfortunately. It's just one of them perfectly serviceable things that I'm probably going to forget about in a day. But hey, I'm curious to hear what other people think about this one. And it'll be interesting to see what a new, someone who hasn't seen the originals or has only ever experienced the reboots to see what they would think about it. And then it'll be interesting to see another person's perspective on this, because you do have to take the nostalgia goggles off when watching this if you are going to properly look at it, because, yeah, to be honest, if it was just a bait nostalgia, then I think they didn't really go far enough into it, to be honest. If it was just going to be, a massive nostalgia fest, then I think they should have leaned heavy into it, but they didn't really do that either, so it's kind of left in this sort of nowhere zone and perfectly safe, serviceable, piece of television, which, yeah, I'm just not a big fan of this. Yeah. But anyway, that's it for this kind of short, rambly thoughts on watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.